Chapter 21 and 22. Flash. I see Sana roll off of the combined attack, just barely outside of the atmosphere. Her body is charred, her left arm no longer in existence. A burnt stub is all that remains. She floats in place for a minute, her aura swirling around her. After a bit, she begins slowly moving back towards the planet, stopping in place just inside the atmosphere. She raises her remaining hand, a wordless cry escaping her mouth as a ball of energy begins growing, larger and larger, till it's the size of a house. With a push, it begins falling to the surface. A large multicolored beam of light leaves the surface, slamming into it, trying to slow it down, and for a time it does. The effort is for naught, as the massive attack slowly overpowers the beam, slamming into the surface. There is a moment of peace before the planet begins collapsing, exploding, breaking apart. Within seconds, all that remains is space dust. Mind's eye deactivate. Flash. Oh God. I whisper. I force myself to my feet, my knee collapsing beneath me. Bara grabs me, holding me up. KLL? KLL, what is it? He asks, panicking. Sana is still alive. We need to move now. I yell. Vegeta lands near us, overhearing what I had said. Kakarot and Vegeta both grab me, as I disappear with a pop. Unknown planet. Yes. Yes. Babadi screams as the meter reaches the maximum. It's finally time. Rise, Majin Buu. Rise. He cackles, as the ball-shaped container begins to glow. Planet Vegeta. We reappear 200 miles away, directly beneath where I can sense Sana high above. I stumble as we land, but again Bara catches me. She's right above us. We need to combine our attacks, every bit of energy we have, right now. I scream, ascending to Super Saiyan. All 3 Saions around me ascends as well, powering up to their fullest. I'm pumping out my energy as much as possible, pushing every bit into the attack forming between my palms. Bara has moved off to the side, building up his own power. Kakarot and Vegeta are doing the same. Vegeta is building up a final flash, the sparks of electricity running along his arms. I don't recognize the attack Kakarot is forming. It's a translucent green, the edge wavering like hot air over asphalt. Super Kaioken, ×4. I scream, my aura flashing to burnt orange, before dropping back to golden. Fuck. No. I think, realizing that I simply don't have the stamina. I start decompressing my energy, my body expanding rapidly, as bioelectricity sparks along my aura. I'm pumping my rising energy into my own attack, but I can already feel it slipping before I even pass Super Saiyan Grade 2. I manage to pump most of it into the attack, before I drop back down to base Super Saiyan. My attack has nearly twice my power level in it, almost 900 M, but I can tell that combined our attacks won't be nearly enough. Now, aim where I am. I order as I point my attack nearly straight upwards. KLL beam. I scream, as the putrid green ball of death breaks through the sky above, coming straight down on top of us. My bright blue-green beam of energy shoots out, Bara's, Kakarot's, and Vegeta's joining in on my own. The beams combine into a multicolored combination attack, slamming into Sana's ball, slowing its drop. I can feel the strain already, as I pump a steady amount of energy into my own attack, trying to push it back. The energy within her attack is massive, dwarfing our own combined attack, and I can tell it's all for naught. Keep pushing. Don't give up. I scream, as I again try to ascend to Grade 2. The muscle in my left leg, right above the knee, explodes, blood and gore spraying over the area as I nearly collapse. I scream but don't drop my own attack, my vision flashing red with the agony. KLL. Bara yells, his concentration slipping. No, damn it. Keep attacking. I grunt back, trying to push myself back up onto my remaining functional leg. Kakarot begins screaming, his voice nearly cracking under the strain, as his muscles begin expanding. Holy shit. After seeing me do it once, Kakarot was able to recreate Super Saiyan 2nd grade. I think, watching the energy he is pumping out nearly double. The ball of energy high above has slowed down immensely, but has already dropped nearly a mile closer. We're failing, and I can't help the dread that's creeping in. I can probably grab Vegeta and Kakarot, as they are closest, and use instant transmission to escape, but that would leave Bara to die along with any stragglers from the evacuation. I can't just give up like that. Ah! I scream, activating desperation, pumping my own life force into my attack. The beam from my hands increases in size, slamming even harder into the green ball high above. But even that isn't enough. No, come on. I refuse to let this bitch get the better of us. I yell, doubling my effort. There is a snap, and Bara collapses, his transformation ending. The strain nearly doubles, as the attack high above starts to drop even faster. I can sense that Kakarot and Vegeta are doing no better, and will most likely collapse soon as well. I'm racking my brain, trying to think of anything I can possibly do to save their lives. I can't do it. I have nothing left up my sleeve. At least one of them is going to die. I think as Vegeta collapses as well. The ball of death high above begins to rapidly drop towards us. My own and Kakarot's attacks not nearly enough to halt its progression. Planet Vegeta. High above, Sana's broken body is nearly healed. Her arm is a lost cause, but the rest of her is soft, pink flesh newly grown. Her power level is back to her current maximum as she cackles in the light air. Raising her remaining palm, she releases a blast of energy that slams into her attack far below, pushing it further down, faster and faster. Planet Vegeta. The attack high above nearly doubles in size, slamming down even harder. It's picking up speed, and I realize that I no longer have a chance to save anyone but myself. No, I won't just abandon them. I think as I push my last bit of life force and energy into the attack. They didn't abandon me, and I won't abandon them. My aura sparks around me, shifting between the golden shine of a Super Saiyan and a red fiery orange that almost matches my Super Kaioken. As my aura shifts, I feel energy fill my body, as though I'm 10x stronger than ever before. I push, shoving my energy into my attack, as the ground turns to dust in a growing circle around me. Ah! I scream as my attack doubles, then doubles again, slamming into the ball of death high above us. Bara, Kakarot, and Vegeta are blown away by the shockwave I release, as my scream reaches the heavens far above. The attack in my hands shifts colors, turning from its normal blue-green to the fiery red of my aura. The ball of energy high above is engulfed, absorbed in the energy of my renewed attack. It picks up speed, launching back upwards to where it came. Planet Vegeta. Sana senses a change far below, but isn't able to react in time. As the air trembles around her, her attack is engulfed in a firestorm of energy that slams into her as well. Her hand burns as she tries to hold it back, but the battle is lost as quickly as it started. Swimming within the energy of the attack, her body breaks down as she screams. Within seconds, there is nothing left. Planet Vegeta. I sense Sana's energy disappear almost as soon as the attack slams into her. The momentous energy contained within burning her away into nothingness. Almost as soon as it started, it stops, the energy leaving my body as though it were never there. I collapse, landing hard on my side, as my breaths come in ragged little gasps of desperation. My HP is nearly zero, and I have no second wind left. I lay there, as the wind picks up around me, coating my body with a fine sheen of dust. My eyes close, and for a moment I can see so very far away. Unknown planet. Lord Beerus. Lord Beerus. Shouts a tiny fish in a tiny bowl of water. Her container floats in the air, hovering over the sleeping form of Lord Beerus, god of destruction. Her little cries continue for a time, getting more urgent as time passes. Lord Beerus, please. You must wake. I have remembered. She shouts, thankful to have seen again. There comes a grunt from below, Beerus' eyes opening slightly. Get on with it then, he says. He is coming. The oracle fish shouts. Beerus sighs, considering what else would make for a good oracle before asking, who is coming? A Super Saiyan god. The little fish squeals excitedly. Beerus cocks his head, considering what he's heard. A Super Saiyan god? He asks. Yes, Lord Beerus. I saw one. She replies. Yes, well, I suppose I had better wake up then? He says, stretching out. Whis? He asks, shouting down to the floor below him. Whis, where are you? I have things to do, you know. When no reply comes, he hops down from his floating bed, looking forward to meeting this Super Saiyan god. Planet Vegeta. As KLL falls unconscious, he shudders, a deep fear filling his very being. The reason is slipping away with his consciousness, but the fear remains behind. Whatever it was, he can only hope that he's able to meet it head-on. Everything has a cost. Unknown planet. A tall Saiyan sits at his handmade table, eating a meal he made with his own hands. There is a moment where he almost smashes the table or throws the plate against the wall, but with a grimace, he clenches, stopping the motion. Several silent moments pass before he relaxes, going back to his meal. As he finishes, he cocks his head to the side, sensing approaching figures outside. Standing swiftly, he makes his way to the door, pushing the curtain aside and stepping outside. Can I help you? He asks the three approaching figures. The three creatures, short, gangly as they are, pause, looking between themselves. One steps forward, addressing the tall form before them. We come bearing orders from our king. We have asked thrice that you leave our planet, and still you continue to remain. We have been ordered to bring you in, where you will stand trial and be executed should you be found guilty. Alien number 1 replies. The tall Saiyan twitches, freezing in place before he unfreezes again. As I've told your people before, I am here peacefully. I do not want trouble. He says quietly. Enough. Alien number 2 barks out. You will come with us, or you will die where you stand. He orders. He says nothing in reply, grimacing, nearly twitching again. The three aliens begin approaching, one pulling out a set of manacles that spark with a malevolent energy. As they draw closer, a look comes across his face as he turns upwards to stare into the sky. He senses a far-off energy again, one that almost feels like his own. He snarls, the sound like an angry lion rumbling in his chest. The three aliens jump back, pointing their little laser guns at him. "Stop resisting!" One yells, flicking the on switch. The ground begins to shake around them, as little sparks of electricity begin forming in the air. A heavy, oppressive energy fills the air, making it hard for the aliens to even breathe. "Open fire!" One of them screams as they begin barraging him with laser fire. The tiny lasers bounce off, doing no damage, as the man's body begins swelling, shrinking, swelling again, as he begins to scream. The ground cracks around them, as the sky darkens high above. For a moment, it seems as though the heavens themselves would fall before them when it stops as soon as it started. A heavy wind picks up, as the air pressure equalizes with the outside area. As the Scion finally calms, he turns back to the three aliens to find them each laying on the ground, dead. He shakes his head sadly as he gathers them up. It would take him an hour of work to bury them in his garden, but as their killer, he felt it was the least they deserved. Once finished, he exits his home, the home he has known for nearly 5 years, heading towards a large stone about 500 feet away. Landing next to it, he digs his hands in, lifting the 10-foot-tall spire from the ground, tossing it away. Beneath it, in a deep crater, rests his exit. His Scion space pod, sitting in the exact spot he left it when he first arrived, opens as he drops down to it. Sitting within, he taps at the screen for a moment, before his destination pops up. As it launches into the air, the machine gives him a status report. Planet Vegeta, ETA 7 days. Planet Vegeta, 1 week prior. You have awoken. HP fully restored. I come awake with a gasp, as I once again find myself sitting in a healing tank. Memories of the fight for my life flood back in, as I remember the desperation to kill Sana before she killed us all. There is a moment of realization, as I remember how it all ended. I pull open my character sheet and immediately notice two differences. Base energy, 66,712. Energy regen, 466,984. Power level, 7,471,744. Energy modifier, 25.8. Final power level, 192, 770, 995.2 *************. Final power level with Super Scion multiplier, 566, 358, 195.2 *****************. Final power level with Super Scion second grade multiplier, 678, 434, 355.2 **********. Final power level with Super Scion third grade multiplier, 790, 510, 515.2 ****************. My battles had gone up by 1, along with gaining a 0.4 Zenkai bonus. The difference was quite profound, as my base Super Saiyan form was almost 500 million now. The second change was that I had, in fact, gained the 220k EXP for defeating Sana, and was only a bit over 50k from leveling again. I quickly checked the rest of the sheet, and found that something else had been updated as well. Spark of Divinity, in times of greatest need. When protecting the life of someone that has saved yours, unlock temporary access to God Kai. It seems that at the end there, I actually did temporarily ascend to a Super Saiyan God. I can still almost feel the power burning through my body, the way I felt both infinite, yet so small. I flipped through the rest, but didn't see any other differences of note. I accessed the internal panel, and turned the healing tank off, which quickly drained. A set of armor was waiting for me on a table along the healing chamber. I quickly made my way down the hallway, finding myself within the throne room a minute later. King Vegeta sits on his throne, the lights down low. The air is heavy within. The empty seat where Indivaya would normally be sitting weighs heavily on us both. King Vegeta, I say, drawing his attention. Without turning his head, his eyes narrow, turning towards me. He stands, approaching me. There is something here, KLL, that does not add up. I have always questioned it, wondering, how does a child get stronger than warriors with decades of experience? I have spoken with several of my captains, each so willing to sing your praise. He says as he stops about 5 feet away from me. You were what? 11? 12? Yet you were the first Scion to ever reach a power level over 1 million. You used a previously unknown move to equal the strength of Frisia's brother, and to completely wipe out his entire army. Within the same day, you somehow transformed into a Super Saiyan. He says, his voice a deadly whisper within the dark, empty chamber. Shit, I was hoping this would never happen again. I think as he continues, you died foolishly, yet somehow broke the wall between life and death, to be instrumental in bringing me and many others back to life. I watched your fight against Frisia. It was brutal, and for a time I thought there was no way you could possibly survive. Yet, even losing your eye, succumbing to your tail weakness, You manage to heal from near death, to kill him. Another mystery, you could say. He pauses, his power level rising slightly in anger. Yesterday, I saw something I didn't believe was possible. I have personally read the edict, where my father's father declared that all anomalies were to be identified and culled. Their very nature is chaos, anger, and destruction. Yet somehow, one still walked amongst us, hidden, biding her time, till she could kill my son, Vegeta says as he turns away from me. Within that same day, I saw a further 3 transformations from you, each pushing you to another height that seems again impossible. He says, picking up a folder sat casually on a table. Somehow, you managed to ascend even further, pushing back an attack that should have killed us all. I saw Bara collapse. I felt the crushing strength of that attack, just from losing Bara. I can only imagine what it felt like, losing myself shortly afterward. So explain to me, KLL. He says, holding up what appears to be an extremely old hand-drawn image. Explain to me how you became a Super Saiyan God. Planet Vegeta. Bara stands quietly, holding himself in place, as the gravity around him increases to nearly 25x. Stepping forward, he feels his muscles tear, stretching, as he is forced to use his energy to allow movement. Never again, KLL. I failed you, and you nearly died for it. The next time there is a threat, I'll be the one saving you. He thinks as he pushes his power to the top. Spaceship, unknown sector. Babidi says, reading over the manuscript for what feels like the 4th time. It says here that Bu can gain power and attacks by absorbing people. What exactly does that mean? He ate Yakon, and I don't see him absorbing light. Dabura, what do you think this means? Master, I think Yakon simply didn't have the strength or perhaps abilities that Majin Bu could make use of, Dabura answers from his side. Babidi looks puzzled for a moment, before flipping through several sections. Yes, I think to agree on Dabura. There is only one way to test it. Majin Bu, the large, rounded, pink creature stops bouncing around, laughing and screeching, hearing his master yell for him. You call for Majin Bu? He asks, his childlike voice grating on the ears of all those present. Yes, Majin Bu. I have orders for you. Babidi screeches, standing on his throne. Aha! What Majin Bu do? He asks. I need you to absorb Dabura. He orders. Master. Wait, please. Dabura yells, turning towards Babidi. Before Dabura is able to say another word, Bu slams into him like a mass of putty, covering him. As the gelatinous being covers him completely, he begins to glow with a fell energy. The chamber is filled with a soft red light, as the absorption is complete. Smoke begins pouring from the mass of pink matter, as it slowly forms back into a humanoid shape. No longer short or fat, Bu stands nearly 7 feet tall, muscular, with 2 small horns adorning his forehead. His outfit has transformed as well, turning from his normal wear into a loose-fitting blue outfit, with the Majin symbol sitting on the belt, his cape nowhere to be seen. Yes, Master, I can see that was a good idea, Bu says as he checks out his new body. Good show, Majin Bu. Ha ha ha. I can tell your power increased dramatically from that as well. Looks like I won't be returning you to your prison after all. Babidi cries, elated at the turn of events. If I had had to listen to him scream about candy one more time, I would have cracked, he thinks as Bu turns towards him. You had plans to return me, Master? He asks. What was that? Yes, well, I'm sure you know how annoying you were in your previous form. You're much better as you are now. I see no reason to return you. Babidi replies. I see. I can't allow that, you understand? Bu asks, staring at Babidi. Can't allow. I am your master. You will do as I say when I say. Babidi screams. Bu stares for a moment, before bringing up both hands. With a brittle snap, he breaks off his own arm, which turns to putty in his hand. He tosses this mass with extreme speed at Babidi, catching him off guard. No, Majin Bu. No. He screams, as his tiny form is covered completely. With a twitch of his finger, the mass of pink flies back, and is absorbed into his body. There is a small flash of light and release of smoke, but when it clears, there appears to be no different. Bu stands completely still for a moment before he begins to cackle madly. Raising both hands in front of him, he calls out, Papra Papa!